Thank you for coming in for the August 2020 monthly safety meeting. Our vision: we will deliver the best customer experience with industry-leading safety, reliability, and innovation. What does it mean to you? What part do we play in achieving this vision? So Stacy, what does it mean to you?
Distance for a vision.
Okay.
To see what's going on around me, to see what's in front of me.
Okay. What does this do to your customer experience? Your customers.
So they have confidence in me.
Customer service.
Yeah.
What's the other?
Make sure you don't hurt them.
Hmm?
Make sure you don't hurt them. You know,
Yes.
whatever you do is,
Safety.
affecting them.
Safety and customer service.
Yeah.
That's the big role that we play. Make sure we assist all our passengers. Also, we drive safely for them. So that way they get to their appointments on time. They get to their doctor's appointment, to their job, to their family, churches. If, I don't know if churches is open, but also they always want a comfortable ride
Yep.
from point A to point B. Overview. During this meeting, we will discuss the importance of maintaining a proper following distance and a good ergonomics to help prevent injury. We will refresh ourselves around the fundamental of how to calculate following distance in your vehicle, adjusting following distance for conditions, good posture while sitting or standing, and also avoid injury while lifting or pushing or pulling. We know that we transport big, heavy wheelchair, right? Yeah. Some of them exceeds close to maximum weight of 800 pounds. And we're not superhuman beings. But what do we do when we have a heavy wheelchair?
We call for help.
We call for help. We call for assistance. We have supervisors that can assist you. I'd rather have you call for assistance than you
Do it yourself.
breaking your back, hurting your shoulder. Okay? The main menu today: fleet safety, following distance.
Did you know that 1 out of every 5 crashes involve rear-end collisions? These can be prevented by knowing safe following distances. Safe following distances between vehicles vary depending on the vehicle, speed, visibility, road conditions, and weather. Speaking of weather, think about this the next time you're in a car that's going 35 miles per hour. If you're on a dry road, you'll need between 60 and 100 feet to come to a complete stop. If you're driving on a wet road, you'll need 120 feet or more. If you're driving on a packed snow road, you'll need 180 feet or more. And if you're driving on an icy road, you'll need 600 feet or more to come to a complete stop. Different road conditions require different stopping distances. Tailgating prevents the ability to drive defensively and increases risks to you and other drivers. A safe guideline for following distance between vehicles is adhering to the 3-second rule. Additional time should be added when driving at night or in adverse weather and road conditions, and if operating larger vehicles. An easy way to calculate the appropriate following distance is to pick out a fixed point on the road, such as a sign or mile marker. When the vehicle in front of you passes that point, begin counting 1001, 1002, and so on, until you reach the same fixed point. If you reach the point before you get to at least 3, you need to slow down and allow more distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. As your speed increases or road conditions deteriorate, additional time must be allowed. Even adding 1 additional second is a proven advantage. We can make our roads safer by avoiding rear-end collisions. Safe following distances can make the difference. It's worth a life.
The video mentioned a 3-second rule for cars. How many seconds do we default to?
4 to 5.
4 to 5, okay? Under 40 miles per hour, what's your following distance? How many seconds?
5.
Under 40 miles per hour.
Or under 4.
3.
Under 40 miles per hour is a 4-second following distance. Anything over 40 miles per hour, 5 seconds. In the rain, what's your following distance?
6.
6, good. Snow,
7.
7. And ice and sleet,
8.
8 seconds. 8 seconds or more is good. What variables can affect your following distance?
The weather.
Okay, weather, that's good, that's 1. What else?
Road condition.
Road condition, that's 2.
Surrounding area, like people.
Heavy
Okay.
traffic.
Heavy traffic, okay. Your speed, what about your speed? Okay. What about the vehicle size you drive? The bus? Of course, road condition. Somebody said road condition. And tailgating. When you're tailgating someone, that would affect your following distance, correct? And we have a chance of rear-ending another the car in front of us. So
It almost happened to me this Friday. I was driving on Track Highway and somebody was just cutting.
Oh,
me.
yes,
So
forget it.
I have to roll a bus. I mean, they stopped.
so
Right, the brake hardly.
They cut-
I was okay with the car in
Okay.
front of me, but this person just cut on me.
so
And
so another car cuts you off.
right,
What did you? How did you respond to it?
actually I was looking on surrounding, so I saw it that he was just cutting, so I stopped immediately over there.
Slow down or stop?
Right, there was no, it wasn't a case of slowing down. It was completely stopped. That's what I did.
Because some of those people, they don't give you a 3 flash.
Right,
They just
yeah. And
Yeah, they come from
And
the
the
far
worst
lane.
part, he was not even entering into my lane and stay there. He was cutting and go to parking lot.
Yeah, right off the ramp.
that's why you're professional drivers. Expect the unexpected.
Expected, yeah.
You have to be aware of their mistakes and you have to adjust to it. Okay. You should be at least how many seconds behind the vehicle if in front of you when traveling over 40 miles per hour? How many seconds? That's over 40 miles per hour.
Over 45.
5 seconds, correct. Now, part 2 is injury prevention, part 2 is ergonomics.
When people hear ergonomics, they often think of this. But in truth, ergonomics is simply fitting the workplace to the worker, rather than the other way around. And that includes lots of workplaces, construction, manufacturing.
But before we go to the ergonomics, how do you find or how do you measure following distance while driving?
You pick a spot down here on the road.
Okay, spot
A fixed object.
fixed object, okay, that's one. Then what now?
And try to count the distance whereby, okay, you let the car in front of you, the rear end of the car of you, past that spot or equal to that
That's the
spot.
fixed object?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Fix
what?
object, and then you try to start counting 1001, 1002 until when you reach that distance at exactly,
Okay.
then you are okay. If
Okay.
you are, if you go before the time, you have to try to increase your following distance again.
So, like you said, look for a fixed object. Let the car in front of you pass the fixed object. That's when you start counting 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Now, what happens if you reach the fixed object before 1005?
Try to increase your following
Then
distance.
you have to,
You're following too close.
yeah.
That's when you increase your following distance more, okay? If you done counting 1005 and then you reach the fixed object, that means your following distance is sufficient.
Transportation, healthcare, you get the idea. So today, we're going to cover some ergonomic basics that apply to virtually any workplace. These include proper posture, managing forces, and excessive repetitive motion. Ready? Let's start with posture. Sitting, standing, walking, it really doesn't matter. Proper bone and joint alignment is key. So straighten up that back, keeping ears, shoulders, and hips in a straight line. Good. Now squat by hinging at the hip. Keep everything aligned. Now sit. Perfect. Maintaining that posture through your day and work, any work, will reduce fatigue, eliminate strains, decrease stress on joints and ligaments, and have you feeling great. If posture is good, forces are evil. Why? Because they assault your posture constantly. There are lift and carry forces, grip forces, push and pull forces, and just plain old gravity. Hey, let's help you out with this. To avoid injury, don't lift, pull, or push too much. Let your posture guide you. And if need be, get help or use a hand truck or other tool. Also, move that body. If you stand up a lot for work, sit. If you've been sitting, stand up. Every change is an opportunity to realign and think about your posture. Our last Ergo 101 topic is repetitive motion. Doing the same task over and over and over and over and over and over. You get the point. Repetitive motions from jobs like these can cause carpal tunnel syndrome, joint problems, poor circulation, and more. Fortunately, these injuries are easy to avoid. First, by arranging your work area to fit you and support good posture. And second, by stretching. Stretches like this, or this, or this, well, maybe not that. Every 30 to 60 minutes can make a world of difference and prevent injury. Show off. Let's recap. Ergonomics is all about fitting your work environment to you. So set up your station to support good posture. Be mindful of posture, reduce forces, and take breaks to stretch and realign yourself. Do all that, and you'll be on your way to being more efficient, more productive, and healthier.
Now let's talk about ergonomics in the driver's seat. Proper positioning of the seat for good posture. Adjust the depth and height of the seat so your feet can comfortably reach the pedals and ensure they can be pressed all the way through. The seat should be adjusted so the arms are slightly bent to grasp the steering wheel at the 9 and 3 position. Back is straight against the seat and will not be stretched forward when using push and pull method when turning. The thighs should be completely supported by the seat. The back of the knee should be about 1 to 2 inches from the seat cushion. Now let's talk about the tilt of your seat back. Adjust the seat back so you're sitting nearly completely vertically or upright. At most, you should be tilted back 10 degrees. The lumbar support should fit comfortably into the curve of your lower back. Your back should not be rounded. Always maintain the natural curve of your spine, even in the driver's seat. Ensure the back is leaning on the backrest from the buttock to the shoulder blades. Adjust based off your comfortability. The neck support should reach the base of the skull, the large bump on the back of your head, without you having to move your head backwards. If needed, Adjust the built-in cushioning at the middle and low back so that the seat is molded to fit the individual curve of your spine. If the built-in adjustments are not sufficient, you may consider adding your own cushions, such as a folded towel or a sweater. Here are some tips to follow when driving. Lean your whole trunk forward, tilting from the hip joint to see better, rock and roll in your seat, reach any controls in front. Do not move your chin or head forward to see better or let your shoulders or shoulder blades round forward. Lean forward from your hips. Do not slump down over the steering wheel. Note the posture of your back at any given time and keep it vertical. Ergonomics also comes into play when you're securing and releasing wheelchair straps. Keep your spine straight as you reach for the straps or other controls. Bend from the hips and knees instead of from the waist. This will help limit the strain on your back. Remember, be mindful of your posture and your body mechanics, always checking in with yourself and practicing safe and healthy habits. Doing this will ensure a safe day at work and another trip home injury-free to the ones that count on you.
What are the 3 ergonomic basics that apply to virtually every workspace? What's the 3 ergonomics?
Your posture.
Proper posture, okay. What's the other?
Managing forces.
Managing forces, good. What's the last one?
Excessive
Repetitive motion. Good. Good for you. About what degree should you tilt your seat back? 10 degrees. 10 degrees, good. Bend from the hips and knees instead of from the waist when securing a mobility device for a false. Joking. True or false?
True.
Is your name Joking?
Oh, true.
Okay. And we're going to look at a couple of drive cams. And please watch it real carefully to let me know what happened and what we could have been. How could the driver prevented this? Let's watch it one more time. Watch the miles per hour, right on the right-hand side. What was his speed when he collided with that vehicle?
20.
28.
28 miles per hour.
You only dropped a mile.
Jeez. That's a bad impact. How can the driver prevent this from happening? Let's ask Keith. How can we prevent this from happening? If you were that driver, how can you prevent this from happening?
I would have changed lanes sooner.
Change lane sooner?
I'll slow it down.
Slowing down. Slowing down. In your training, how far do you look ahead?
15.
15 seconds. Looking to the future. When you see the vehicles in front of you have brake lights on, their brake lights are all on. The vehicle on your left side are all stopped. the vehicle in front of you is stopped, what do you do? What do you do? Stacy,
I was reading this, I'm sorry.
what do you do? When you see all your surrounding, you're looking 15 seconds ahead, you're seeing all the cars stop. To your left, in front of you. What should you be doing?
Why, right?
Stopping, applying your brakes, slowing down. Okay? Of course, be aware of your surrounding. Adjust your following distance. And you could have prevented, this guy could have prevented this accident. At 28 miles per hour impact, I bet you that other vehicle is hurting right now. Did you see that client on board? Yeah. And you think she might be opening the plane?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know you guys didn't attend my class, my training. But I always say that we are a cash register. You know what that means? Cash register? When there's
Well, we
something,
pay claims, you know,
Yeah.
if somebody gets injured, we're paying the claim.
that's right.
And
How can we-
$18,000 or something?
How can we prevent that claim?
By being, you know, watching our surroundings.
Watching
Going
your
slow,
surrounding,
You know,
going slow, following the speed
slower,
limit,
yeah, doing the speed limit,
With the light.
being aware.
be aware, yeah. Your client only expect a comfortable ride from point A to point B.
Yeah, we're not in a race, it's not Uber,
No, it's not Uber, it's not taxi.
no,
This is not a contest.
no,
How fast you can get your client to the destination,
or how many clients you take.
how many clients you take. This is all about safety, no matter what. You have a precious cargo in your vehicle. They're not packages. They're not packages like UPS or FedEx where they can damage the items, but it's insured, right? The item says insured even though it's broken. People can return the package. But can you replace a life? And how much does it take, how much money would it take to replace a life?
Well, that's it too, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of the drivers, they, you know, well, I'm gonna be late for my next pickup. Well, we don't care about that, just take that person to where,
I like
focus
that.
on that one.
That's the number one excuse driver
I'm gonna
has.
be late for my next pickup, so that everybody sees where you are. They can move that ride.
Does your on-time performance come first or safety comes first?
Safety comes first. I don't care how about the performance. I don't care if I'm running late.
When you're running late, run late.
Yeah,
Okay? A lot of people are very competitive. Drivers are competitive. They want to be 100% all the time.
The other thing, you are not responsible for all the traffic, so that you stop them so that you go first, but you know, there's so many traffic. If you run late, could be traffic.
You can be late for a lot of reasons. One, you get a lot of insert,
Right.
traffic,
Oh, yeah.
weather, okay? But can you ever make up your time? No.
and some clients take longer than others, you
Yeah.
know, sometimes they have to go to the bathroom before we get on the bus, you
Right.
know, so you gotta wait.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, don't jeopardize safety because of your on-time performance.
I don't know.
Can you be fired from your job of being safe?
Well, that's what we're all about, is being safe.
You can be fired on your job, they accumulate points of unsafe behavior. Okay? So, think about that, okay? Second video.
stop. I mean,
Let's watch that one more time. And tell me what this driver did not do.
Looks like he stopped.
Didn't stop.
yeah, he tried to do California stuff, I heard. And he left the stop sign behind. He was almost at the center too.
Tell me what did the driver do wrong here?
Well, he never stopped and never rock and rolled to see what was coming.
Never stopped.
Never stopped.
Never done the rock and roll.
No.
Of course, you're not gonna do the rock and roll if you
If
didn't
you don't
stop.
stop, yeah.
And most of all, famous word, everybody say, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Because you didn't stop, you didn't look.
Number one violators in our drive cam. Failure to stop at the stop sign or stoplight. Okay. That bicyclist was almost got hit.
Uh-huh.
That looks like a kid. What's the other mistake that the driver do?
Stop behind the,
He backed his vehicle
oh.
without getting out and look.
Oh.
He just put it in reverse. What could be in the back of the vehicle?
Another car.
Another car? What about another
Another
pedestrian?
pedestrian.
I guess he's coming back to retrain.
Was that our driver? One of our drivers?
No.
No, that's just.
You have your question here on following distance. Maintaining a proper following distance will reduce your chance of getting involved in which type of accidents?
Rear end.
What?
Rear end.
Rear end collision.
Maintaining proper following distance will reduce your chances of an accident. The most important space around your bus is the front of the bus, and you have to protect it at all times while you're driving. The most costly types of accidents are collisions and passenger injuries resulting from improper following distance, which is why it's so important to pay attention to your driving.
So you're saying following distance is the primary root cause of our collisions and passenger incidents?
Well, it is, Brian, but let me explain. Improper following distance is the root cause of most accidents. First, improper following distance can cause you to rear end the vehicle in front of you if they suddenly stop. Second, believe it or not, they can also cause the car behind you to rear end you when you stop short and with little warning. Side swipes to the left and right can also happen when you swerve or make quick lane changes to avoid hitting the car in front of you. These kind of evasive maneuvers could also cause you to go off-road, the fifth type of accident.
I hate to argue, but really it seems like the cause of all those accidents was the car in front of us stopping short. So really, it would be their fault, not ours. There's no way you can anticipate what another driver is going to do.
Well, you're partly right, Brian. You can't anticipate what other drivers are going to do. You can't control what other drivers do, but you can
control my vehicle.
That's true. You cannot control what other drivers do, but you can control how you drive your vehicle. And being in control means you can prevent accidents.
You need to have adequate following distance so you have time to compensate for the mistakes of other drivers.
So a 4 to 5 second following distance gives you a safety cushion. It gives you enough time and distance to safely stop the bus no matter what happens in front of you.
Okay. Here's where I'm having a problem. Rush hour. You know, traffic is moving so slowly and it's bumper to bumper in the city. So how can I realistically keep a 4 second following distance?
I'm really glad you brought this up, Brian, because actually we hear it a lot. But significant property damage or serious injury can occur even at low speeds. It's important to remain alert, patient, and of course courteous when you're driving in those conditions. Professional operators and drivers make adjustments to their driving habits to reflect changing conditions and of course to ensure the safety and well-being of themselves and the public. It is not impossible to maintain a 4 second following distance during rush hour, even if you're only going 7 miles an hour. You can even keep a 4 second following distance on a rush hour freeway, and that will not cause you to go backwards. The main obstacle we face is the perception that by leaving 4 seconds in front of us, everyone will cut in. Now that is unlikely given the relatively small space at 15 to 20 miles per hour. If that happens, you just need to simply reestablish the 4 second distance and move on safely without getting aggravated. Remember, you are the professional.
What is a good following distance and why? What's good following distance?
4 seconds.
4 seconds. 4 seconds?
And it helps.
Now, let me interrupt you there.
Okay.
4 seconds on what? What's your speed?
On 40 or less.
Okay. Why is that a good following distance?
Because it helps you to control your vehicle when about anything happens.
What about over 40 miles per hour?
It's 5 seconds.
Why a following distance of 5 seconds of 40 miles per hour, over 40 miles per hour?
Oh, because your vehicle was your vehicle, the traffic at the high speed, that's over 40 miles. So, and that's why the distance increase is to be able to maintain the same, safety rules or.
What is it applied to? Your vehicle's heavier.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's longer to stop. It's longer. You just gotta have to adjust to that speed. Okay. A lot of people, if the speed limit is 40, they go 35. But they have the following distance. Why do you want to be 4 to 5 seconds behind other driver? Heat.
To avoid a collision.
Avoid collision. Avoid rear-end collision. And avoid hurting the other people on the other vehicle and your passenger.
Want to know an easy way to establish your 4 to 5 second following distance? Look ahead to find a fixed reference point, a sign, stoplight, or other road element. Then when the vehicle in front of you passes that object, count off 5 seconds like this: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. You should reach the object at or after 5 seconds.
And if you reach the object in less than 5 seconds, you're following too closely. So just slow down and increase your following distance.
But, okay, why 4 to 5 seconds? I mean, did someone just pull that number out of a hat?
Actually, it's good you brought that up. It's based entirely on math. Take a look at this chart. It should help explain things. This chart is an illustration of braking distance. On the left side of the first chart, we have various speeds listed, and we have calculated the feet per second that you travel at those speeds. In the columns besides those different speeds, you'll see the braking distance and the perception reaction difference at both 0.75 and 1.50 seconds. Remember perception distance and reaction distance? Besides the amount of time it takes for the bus to physically come to a stop after you've applied the brake, you also have to consider how far your transit or paratransit bus goes while you recognize a reason to stop. You see a red light, you say to yourself, red means stop. So while you see and think about this, the vehicle is still moving. That's called perception distance. To that, you also have to factor in reaction distance, or how far the bus travels while you take your foot off the accelerator and put it on the brake. The average time is about 3/4 of a second with your brake covered and about 1.5 seconds without your brake covered. The last column in the first chart estimates the total stopping distance required, given an estimate of the perception and reaction distance combined. From that information, the second chart has been created to show you how total stopping distance translate to following distance. A red highlight means you wouldn't have enough time to stop, given that speed and that following distance. Yellow means you're cutting it close. Green means you're good to go, or that you're traveling at a safe following distance under normal, dry conditions. So for instance, if you're traveling at 30 miles per hour, a 1, 2, or 3 second following distance is not going to be enough. And a 4-second following distance is still cutting it a bit close. However, a 5-second following distance is safe. And as you can see, a 3-second following distance doesn't give you enough time to stop at any speed greater than 20 miles per hour. Really, a 4-second following distance is only adequate at 20 miles per hour.
So, what you're saying is that to be safe, I should probably stick to a 5-second following distance, huh?
Well, in clear conditions, yes. But if you're driving in adverse weather conditions, you'll need to increase your following distance.
By how much?
Well, let's see. For rain, you need to maintain at least a 6-second following distance.
At least 7 seconds for snow.
You'll need to increase your following distance to at least 8 seconds to accommodate the extra distance that's required to stop in ice and sleet.
Right, but now what about in fog? Marla, do you know?
That's a trick question. Fog reduces your ability to maintain a proper following distance by reducing your visibility.
Remember, your sight distance is the amount of time that you can see in front of you. The rule is, if your sight distance is only 2 seconds or less, safely pull off the road and wait until conditions improve.
So, in clear conditions, I should maintain a 5-second following distance and more if I'm in bad weather?
That's exactly right. And in low visibility, you need to slow down to a speed in which you can safely stop within your sight distance. If you can't see more than 2 seconds in front, you need to pull off in a safe place and wait until conditions improve. Establishing a 5-second following distance is the easy part. But what do you do about all of those people who still want to cut in front of you?
Well, that's when it's especially important to maintain your professional attitude. You have to remain calm no matter what. First, accept that the space in front of the bus isn't your space. You have to be willing to adjust if the other drivers jump in front of you. I mean, don't get angry or frustrated. Just readjust your 5-second following distance. Other drivers will change lanes, come back and forth, just to try to get ahead in traffic. Under all circumstances, allow for other drivers' mistakes. And remember that following distance is all about attitude. Keep your cool.
That's right.
Mhm.
The other drivers are amateurs and don't know any better. You are the one with professional training.
Why is it important for the safety of your passengers to maintain a safe following distance for the conditions? George? What do you think to be the right answer? Stacy?
I
To not to hurt your passenger whenever there's something happens.
Not to hurt your passenger? What else? Prevent passenger injuries? Okay.
preventing an accident.
Okay. Preventing an accident. Or being thrown. What about your passenger being thrown all over the buses? Your heart break. You're gonna have to come to a sudden stop. If you're not maintaining a good following distance and that car in front of you suddenly just stop, now you're gonna have to slam your brakes. And when you slam down brakes, the forward motion of your client is now
Moving
forward.
forward.
And not only that too, but to be aware of the clients, because a lot of times they're always sleeping
Right.
and they're not aware of what's going on
That's
in
correct.
front of us, and by us taking it slower that way, it protects them, so we don't have to brake hard.
Right. And when you brake hard, also the vehicle behind you can also rear end you.
Alright.
Let's take a short quiz. It looks like everybody has done it. All right. MV Transportation has established a safe following distance of A, 3 to 4, B, 4 to 5, or C, 5 to 6.
45. B.
B, good. Following distance is important because it allows you to A, make up for your mistakes, B, avoid rear-end collisions, or C, arrive on time.
B.
An important part of maintaining a following distance is your A, courtesy on the road, B, ability to stop the bus, or C, professional attitude.
Professional attitude.
Okay? What's your answer again?
I took B.
No, that would be your professional attitude. Okay?
Professional attitude include every other thing.
If a vehicle suddenly cuts you off without signaling, A, reestablish the appropriate following distance. B, flash your high beams at them to let them know they cut you off. Or C, close your following distance so other vehicles can't do the same.
A.
A. Number 5, when should you maintain a following distance of 5 seconds? Is it A, when you are driving at a speed higher than 50 miles per hour? B, when you are driving at a speed higher than 40 miles per hour? Or C, when you are traveling at a speed lower than 40 miles per hour?
B.
B. Good job. All right, on your paperwork, please put your name, okay, and also put your employee number on all of them.
For part 2 of this one, so what are the 3?
The 3 ergonomics is proper posture,
Repetition, motion.
managing forces, and excessive repetitive motion.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about COVID-19. First of all, I'm gonna pass you a wipe. That's not for your hand, but for your table when you're done, okay? Just wipe your table for the next driver. COVID-19. Please, when you're driving, please wear your mask, especially when you have client on board. Wear your gloves. I know that we get clients without masks. What do?
Offer them a mask.
Offer them a mask. How many masks do you bring? Can I just ask? Do you look at your manifest and see how much mask you'll need? Okay. And also, what happens if they refuse to wear a mask? And they refuse, you give them one and refuse that. What do you do?
Send message.
Send message on the tablet, no mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it depends. Also, you have to check what is the message.
Right.
Maybe some of them for other condition say no mask. So.
And also, do you guys carry hand sanitizer?
I do.
I did.
Listen, always bring a hand sanitizer with you at all time. Always wear gloves. Always wash your hands 20 seconds. I'm very thorough. Wash your hand very thorough. Now, what do you when you wash your hand for 20 seconds, does anybody wash their hand more than 20 seconds?
Yeah,
You can do it, you know, there's no problem.
I'm traveling over 40 miles an hour. Yeah, it's just, it's for your safety, guys. This COVID-19, I don't think it's gonna go anytime soon.
We just found a worse strain in Malaysia.
Yeah, and also, this is gonna probably be with us for a while. And we still, and death on COVID-19 is still climbing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
170,000 plus.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah. So New York had a
Almost 5.5
Trailer.
million cases.
trailer, refrigeration trailer. They just put people with COVID-19.
Yeah.
So,
They put them in a freeze.
it's
Well,
a freezer, yeah.
the bottoms.
Why do they just burn them?
Well, I don't know.
Freezing only means it's gonna thaw out and come back again. What are they gonna do, send it back to China?
No,
Here, have our freezer.
we still have to have, you know.
There's gotta be closures for the families,
Yeah.
you know, that's not,
So
Yeah, but
please,
during the Black Plague, they burned everybody.
so please, I urge you to be careful when you're out there. Just treat this as a good result, man. Just come back to your family safe. If you're feeling sick, please give us a call and go see your doctor. Okay. Thank you for coming to the safety meeting, and I guess have a good day.
thank you, Rick.